At 8:36 now. Hard to believe we're nearly 9 weeks into the war in Ukraine. A lot of people wondering how long is this assault going to last? How much more are Americans willing to fork out when inflation here is skyrocketing?
Yeah, one Northern Illinois University professor says this is a proxy war underway and that there are two countries that need to scale back and negotiate. Dr. Abuba is with NIU's Liberal Arts and Sciences College, and he joins us with more. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, proxy wars are not new, but for those who may not have heard that term, please explain what a proxy war is and why we are in the middle of one right now.
So a proxy war is a war in which the interest of major powers typically drives the war. The powers actually find different parties within the war that somehow through which they get their interest. And they support different sides. And actually, the proxy wars are really not new. They have been going on for some time during the Cold War in Latin America, Africa, and even in places like Yemen and Syria. So essentially, what we have is a war that is driven by the interest of major powers, superpowers, in some other country where each one of them find a group of people, a party to the conflict through which they pursue their interest.
Okay, so that said, the U.S. has been helping. We know this. $165 million was just greenlit in Washington towards the sale of ammunition. The U.S. has also promised $300 million in financing to buy even more supplies. Is there a fine line in your mind between what Russia will accept as aid to Ukraine and what goes too far?
So one of the things in this conflict is that when you have proxy wars, major powers actually do help each side, but in most cases they don't really do it openly. That is to say, they don't really come out, open saying that we're doing this. Now, in this case, we know that one is that Russia is actually on the ground in Ukraine fighting, and number two, the United States is openly supporting actually Ukraine. So that the public expression of support in and of itself actually becomes problematic in the open. Now, what Russia may really accept or not, I think already at this point, Russia really doesn't accept none of that. They have made that very clear. So I think at this point, the question really is how far we do actually go into the escalation. Certainly, sending of arms to the opponents in the open and saying it loud means the other people will not actually not be happy with that. So in this case, Russia will not.
Well, there are a lot of countries being pulled into this war. I want you to talk to us about the three big ones that you say could possibly either benefit or be impacted by what you're calling a proxy war.
So the first and foremost, of course, is the people of Ukraine. And unfortunately, they are the ones actually suffering here. And our hearts really to all the people of Ukraine. And they matter in the sense that it's happening in their ground and they are actually suffering. But beyond Ukraine, there's actually, of course, Russia here and the United States. And to some degree, also, there's China out there. So for Russia matters in this sense because Russia do actually have a strategic interest, which they have asserted. And that is to say, they do not want to have NATO next to their boundaries and next to their border. So now, one can question that or not, but essentially, that's, their key position. The United States, of course, coming from a liberal, geopolitical interest, of course, wants to see the expansion of, Western alliances across the region. So in that sense, the U.S. have an interest there in supporting Ukraine, both from a political standpoint, but also, from a military standpoint. Okay. Now, China here is also in a very delicate situation because China has actually relations, of course, especially trade with the United States. It's a big power. But also it does has a lot of relations with China. And in a sense, what is actually happening in Ukraine is important for China in many ways. One just is that China has a similar kind of situation with Taiwan. So the outcome of this or the way this unfolds, in a sense, may be important in how we understand global norms and sovereignties and so forth. So that is important for China.
Dr. Abuba with NIU's College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.